Good afternoon. We all are aware of the fact that 5 phases of election are over and 4 more are yet to be completed. But by now, the message is fairly clear. The message is actually bold and writ on the wall for us all to see that clearly the Congress is out. BJP-led NDA is emerging as the alternative. Voters and also political observers are very clear how the trend is moving. And as if understanding this, you find that the Congress party has probably changed the tack of their campaign. The Congress party's campaign strategy now reveals every bit of their desperation. The kind of attack, the kind of personalized campaign, and the kind of language with which this campaign has suddenly taken a turn. They've, of course, from the beginning, run away from answering the questions which are being raised by Shri Narendra Modi or by the BJP's leadership, President Rajnath Ji, and other leaders who are campaigning in their respective areas have all been raising issues of the failure of this government. Failure to contain prices, failure to stop corruption, failure to bring in people who have been corrupt to face trial, failure to secure the borders. Failures are abundant. But without answering any of the questions related to the failures, you saw that the Congress's message was confused. They were going around the entire nation talking about the Gujarat model as though it is elections for Gujarat. We've been answering questions on all this, not running at all away from answering questions. But you saw that the strategy of the Congress party was as though they have nothing to answer and they were there only to question. As though they are not the incumbent party and it is the BJP which is remaining in power and it is BJP which was trying to, seek a fresh mandate to come back to power. They were behaving as though they were the opposition, asking questions, raising questions for which they have to answer, but they were not answering. So the campaign strategy, at least in the first 5 phases, was confuse the voters, run away from answering, raise questions, also throw, false allegations, and so on. But with the 5 phases completed, with the 5 phases completed, with 4 more to go, and with the phase after phase clarity in the message which is emerging that the Congress is not going to come to power, you have them now changing the course of what they thought they were setting an agenda in terms of an election campaign. And what is this change? The change is that they are now so frustrated, they've started throwing baseless charges, sometimes even white lies. And the latest example is the disgusting example of what Shri Beni Prasad Verma has said. That is the absolute nadir, the literal lowest point that the Congress's campaign can end up in. It is consistent with the pattern, but that is the bottommost that you can reach. Beni Prasad Verma, with due respects, is a history sheeter, in the sense that during election campaigns, he's a repeat offender. He's always been doing these kind of things in every election campaign. And not just him. There is a pattern. There is a pattern that, with due respects, the president of the Congress party and the son vice president of the Congress party are also going around the entire campaign all over the country, raising issues which almost amount to untruths. But suddenly they realize, oh my God, we have to stand up for certain values, and you will have Sri Rahul Gandhi come out and say, no, we don't approve of these kind of languages. But that very evening, he would go for campaigning for Imran Masood, the Saranpur candidate's wife, who's campaigning for the accused husband. The continuation of Imran Masood as a candidate itself smacks of the hypocrisy of the Congress party. He was not anymore talking about hate speeches. Imran Masood translated a hate speech to be a threat. You come here, we'll cut you to pieces. And today, after that hypocrisy of in the morning you condemn the statement and in the evening you go campaign for him along with his wife, you should have actually withdrawn his candidature. You didn't do that. The Congress party didn't do that. And today you have who the BJP would like to call as a repeat offender. Sri Beni Prasad Verma coming up with a despicable statement, baseless statement, which he brazenly concedes he has no prima facie evidence, and then charges something which I wouldn't even repeat in this place. Accuses Narendra Modi of some offense 18 years ago. We demand the Congress party now to come out and say, are they with Mr. Beni Prasad Verma in this speech? Like the way they stood with Imran Masood in his campaign after having translated a hate speech into a threat. The Congress party's frustration and hypocrisy is increasing in this campaign. If anything, the Congress party has to immediately come out to say if they are with Mr. Beni Prasad Verma or not in this matter. They have to clearly come out to say, are they in support of him? And let us remember here that during Uttar Pradesh's state assembly elections, the then law minister Salman Khurshid had made such claims about reservation. And why is that objectionable? It wasn't even part of their election manifesto. And as a law minister, didn't he know that his claims which are being made in his wife's favor in Farrukhabad, being not a part of the manifesto of Congress party, was definitely misleading the voter? And you would also remember that on that issue, he even stood stubborn saying, I will say what I would say, let the Election Commission take action. He was the law minister of this country who challenged the Election Commission. Post which, if I'm right, let us remember and recall that the Election Commissioner had to approach the President of India to soften the whole issue. Otherwise, there would have been a constitutional issue, which all of you all would have raised, we would have raised. One constitutional authority challenging the other. The Prime Minister had to be expressing his, sorry, or he felt ashamed that this kind of a thing happened. That's the culture of the Congress party. And today that very approach is very clear that on the one hand, the Vice President would say, no, we don't engage in this kind of a talk. And that very evening, he would go to campaign for a candidate who actually he should have withdrawn from the contest. And he campaigns for a candidate who doesn't come out with hate speech, but who translated it into a threat. And today, another cabinet minister speaks, comes up, Beni Prasad Verma, comes up with an allegation for which he himself says, I don't have proof. The BJP will seek an appointment with the Election Commission. We shall highlight that there is a consistent pattern among the senior leadership of the Congress. And with such language, they are trying to bring in and stoke fear in the minds of voters. By invoking fear in the mind of the voters, having in the last 5 phases understood that the election is going against them, now they want to bring in this campaign strategy of frighten the voters and get whatever you can. We object to this strategy. where hypocrisy of the Congress party comes out. And when an authority, a minister, and an authority like the Congress party has repeat offenders who, having been warned by the Election Commission once, still continue to do this. If you're warned by the Election Commission once for violating the election code of conduct, it is assumed that these responsible people would stay calm after that. Whereas the repeat offense comes from the same person. I think even during this course of this Lok Sabha election, there have been several complaints against Mr. Beni Prasad Verma. Whether they are settled already or not with the Election Commission, we do not know. But here he comes up with a newer charge, which is as despicable as what Imran Masood, the Saharanpur candidate, said. Is the Congress party with him? Will the Congress party apologize for a blatant violation of the code of conduct, knowing very well when he did not have any sabut, he started allegations of such personal, such absolutely abusive allegation. We demand that the Congress party come out open, whether they are in support of Mr. Verma or they apologize. In fact, the demand from the BJP to the Election Commission when they give us the appointment would be to cancel his nomination. Someone who's held a position of a cabinet minister, steel ministry, knowing very well he doesn't have a prima facie, goes about charging such despicable allegations. We'll demand that the Election Commission understand, take cognizance of the fact that here is a repeat offender who's abusing a constitutional body, challenging its authority by repeatedly offending against the code of conduct. His candidature should be cancelled. The BJP shall raise it. We are seeking an appointment. We shall seek an appointment with the commissioners. The three of them are not here today, Sunday. We shall seek an appointment and a delegation which will certainly approach the commission to say that this kind of a repeat offence has to be taken cognizance of. And here, most importantly, it is not just Beni Prasad Verma. It is not just Imran Masood. Shashi Tharoor, another minister, uses the expression bleeding leader. What is this kind of a language? I asked Shashi Tharoor, who's been in the cabinet, where was his kindred heart when the soldiers were bleeding, attacked by our enemies? If indeed bleeding is what is worrying him, and he doesn't want leaders who will make the country bleed. Where was the Congress party's leadership? Where was Mr. Shashi Tharoor, a cabinet minister? And where was the Prime Minister or Sonia ji or even Rahul ji when our soldiers were bleeding in the border? Beheaded soldiers were bleeding and they were no more with us. Where were they? Why couldn't this soft, very, very gentle heart of Mr. Shashi Tharoor speak then? You see, invoking fear in the minds of the voters? Absolutely consistent with a certain kind of a blueprint which is probably generated from the Congress party, and we object to this. It is going as per a plan. Now that they smell defeat, a historic defeat, the Congress party is out there with a strategy to bring in fear in the minds of the voters by speaking like this. Totally irresponsible, completely malicious, and if anything, repeat offense. We demand that the Election Commission take cognizance of all these, which come in the same league, as the law minister then in 2011, was it, or 12, when Uttar Pradesh election happened, knowing deliberately it's not going to be a part of the manifesto, the law minister challenged the Election Commission, saying, oh, this is what we'll say, let the Election Commission take whatever action. It falls in the same blueprint, and all of them are in the same league, and we demand that the Election Commission take action. The second issue which will certainly draw your attention is about appointments being made to very important positions. Let's not forget, in a hurry, the naval chief's appointment was already made. So the appointments being made in a hurry, the BJP even 2 days ago had objected to it. We very clearly said, with just another 25 days to go for the completion of this process of election, this government cannot, under any guise, this government cannot go about appointing important positions. They cannot fill positions which are so significant. And as regards Lokpal, today we are raising a very clear objection that the government should not go ahead with any process to fill up the position of the Lokpal, because you all know the process of selecting the Lokpal is already vitiated. In that, 2 eminent jurists had walked out of the selection panel. With another 25 days to go, this undue haste, when the quorum itself is not ready for the selection panel, to start the process for searching for a Lokpal is absolutely unacceptable, and the BJP objects to this. We think this undue haste is clearly because, whether all of us like it or not, the law on the Lokpal is passed. The n number of corruption, unending corruption that has happened during the UPA's term will naturally be taken up by any Lokpal who is going to be appointed as and when the process is going to be completed duly. So fearing for their, lives, you find that the Congress party today wanting to appoint the position of the Lokpal in a hurry, just so they can satisfy themselves that they have, ensured that everything will go in their favor. It's absolutely unacceptable, and the BJP objects to their attempt to fill in the position of the Lokpal. We in fact would caution the government that they don't show undue haste in this matter. Even the quorum is not there for you to conduct the search for a Lokpal. Thank you. बीजेपी की तरफ से सुशील कुमार मोदी जी ने सुबह सुबह बयान दे चुके हैं. The party clearly distances itself from this statement. 1 minute. Huh.
Rahul Gandhi in a rally in Rajasthan has said if Vajpayee ji was in public life today, he would have been ousted in the same way as LK Advani and as Jaswant Singh. How do you react to that?
I would want Rahul Gandhi to first of all tell us what his mother, the president of the party, did when the first time she took over as president to Sitaram Kesari. Let's talk about that first. The BJP has a good culture of respecting its elders. We speak with them, we engage with them, and we know to respect them, which is obvious. It is apparent. It is there for everybody to see. To bring in and invoke names of the BJP leadership does not in any way bring credibility to his claim about the way in which Congress party treats its elders. Not just Sitaram Kesari. If you go back in history, you'll know the number of senior Congress leaders who have been treated like, I'm not sure what expression I should use, with respect or without respect. And therefore, before Rahul Gandhi, in his frustration, starts lecturing down to the BJP, I would want him to first of all answer questions. If he's interested in a debate about who respects elders and who doesn't, let him start with Kesari. गिरिराज जी के स्टेटमेंट के ऊपर आज सुबह हमारे रेस्पेक्टिव बिहार के नेता मोदी जी के, सुशील कुमार मोदी जी के द्वारा बयान हो चुका है. आगे कुछ होगा ना होगा उसके ऊपर मैं स्पेकुलेट कर नहीं सकती हूँ.
नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने जो अपना इंटरव्यू दिया था उसमें उन्होंने कहा था कि गवर्नमेंट
केजरीवाल जी आजकल रिपीटेड सिमिलर बयान देते जा रहे हैं। मोदी जी का ये प्लेड्ज जो होते हैं विंडिक्टिवनेस के ऊपर, जो 7 अप्रैल का मैनिफेस्टो के रिलीज के समय बोला गया है, ये पहली बार नहीं है। 2002 में भी मोदी जी यही स्टेटमेंट दिए हैं कि ही विल सर्व द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ द पीपल, दे विल नॉट बी अ विंडिक्टिवनेस। 2007 में भी, 2012 में भी। थोड़ा केजरीवाल जी भी अपना होमवर्क करें।
Details are emerging that it was your ally LJP's member who had gone to meet Gilani.
Is that stating that Mr. Modi sent it? So Mr. Gilani's statement or anybody else who jumped into it to ask us should know that is not Mr. Modi sending, and if anybody went, we do not know about it. We have not sent anybody. कौन बीजेपी में शामिल हो रहा ये तो मुझे मालूम नहीं है आज, बट सच्चाई तो यही है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी से लोग भागना शुरू हो चुका है, आज भी हो रही है। पता नहीं कौन बच जाएंगे कांग्रेस में।
Don't you think the comment using terms like RSVP against the Gandhi family is that a personal take against the Gandhi?
No, that's clearly stating what is the situation in the Congress party. That's not to hurt their honor. It is to say that these are the people who are there. बेनी प्रसाद वर्मा जी के अनर्गल बयान के खिलाफ बीजेपी चुनाव आयोग में समय मांगेगी और उधर जाकर के हमारी डिमांड रखेंगे कि बेनी प्रसाद वर्मा जी ये पहली बार नहीं है, बार बार वो चुनौती दे रहे हैं कि चुनाव आयोग को, जो एक संवैधानिक संस्था है, उनका गरिमा कम करने में बेनी प्रसाद जी रिपीट ऑफेंडर है, हिस्ट्री शीटर है। इसीलिए कांग्रेस पार्टी आज, वैसे आज उनका जो भी एलिगेशन है वो इतना अनर्गल है और मलिशियस है, उनका पता नहीं बद मकसद क्या है जिसके साथ ऐसे बयान देते हैं, मगर हम मानते हैं कि वो अकेला नहीं है। इसमें एक पैटर्न निकल कर आ रही है जिसमें कांग्रेस के उपाध्यक्ष बोल सकते हैं कि हम ऐसे भाषावली को समर्थन नहीं देंगे, जैसे इमरान मसूद ने किया, आज बेनी प्रसाद वर्मा जी कर रहे हैं। कांग्रेस पार्टी ऊपर ऊपर से ये बात बोलते हैं कि उनका समर्थन नहीं देंगे, शाम को जाकर के उनको कैंपेन में समर्थन कर रहे हैं और उनके साथ कैंपेन भी कर रहे हैं। इमरान मसूद का कैंडिडेचर को भी खारिज करना था कांग्रेस, और आज मैं बीजेपी की तरफ से हम मांगते हैं कि इनका रिपीट ऑफेंडर होने के कारण बेनी प्रसाद वर्मा का भी कैंडिडेट कांग्रेस ही खुद विथड्रॉ करना चाहिए। हम तो चुनाव आयोग से ये डिमांड करेंगे वो उनका कैंडिडेचर खारिज करें।
Mr. Modi continues with his attack on the Gandhi family after this RSVP remark today. Just today he has said that it's 2G versus Jijaji.
Certainly. Is there anything wrong about it? In 2G, let me ask, who are the people who have been questioned, except for an alliance partner who went into the custody? Is anyone else was questioned? On Coldgate, who was questioned? Nobody was questioned. On Vadra, we know what is happening in Haryana. False allegations were thrown at Khemka himself, who was the person who was a whistleblower. So it is only right. It is not as if anybody is shielded in public life. Issues related to public policy, misgovernance, we will question them. All that we want is an answer. They don't give answers, they run away and then say, oh, this is a personal attack. We are questioning them on their wrong deeds during their term in power. On that, if you want to answer, you would answer, or else you, by your remaining silent, the people of India are watching you. But to then say you can't talk about us at all is trying to have an immunity where you don't have one.
Your former president Nitin Gadkari in Bihar said that casteism and communalism are the DNA of Bihar.
Gadkari ji ke remark, he has himself explained it. I don't think I need to add more on it. Thank you.